Despite glowing reviews, die-hard Fallout fans have called the series out for numerous plot inconsistencies, including pretty much removing New Vegas from existence. But one fan just posted this to Reddit, exposing a massive plot hole that can't be ignored. Goes without saying, but huge spoiler, you have been warned, as this user goes on to say, "I enjoyed the series and can't wait for the next season, but there's one glaring problem for me. Mr. McLean is in on the whole thing. He has had contact with the 31 and 32 overseers to know of any issues. So when 32 goes dark for 2 years, he didn't reach out. He also didn't talk to 31 about it. And if the elections are all rigged, he should know who was elected because they were a co-worker and probably would have been communicated by 31. Since 31 likes to manage, he would definitely send Memphis on everything. So when this random person messages out of nowhere, who he knew from years ago, who has a huge enemy of the company and also ran the city he personally nuked, he still doesn't realize anything is amiss? I don't buy this giant plot hole. The fans' disbelief is reasonable as to why they question Mr. McLean, a character with such intricate knowledge of the company and its operations, to fail to recognize the signs of a potential threat. One fan countered this with a view that it could just be down to pure ignorant bliss by responding, "Yeah, it's a bit of a plot hole, but maybe Moldova was involved in the destruction of Vault 32. She could have been messaging him for a long time. I think the robo-brain was oblivious to everything happening in 32, so he wouldn't have said anything. In hindsight, I can't believe I missed this during the show, and it just doesn't make sense. Surely the fact Vault 32 went radio silent would trigger the alarm bells, and it seems strange no one considered investigating it. It does seem like a huge oversight, but not quite to the level that some claim online. Yes, we have to admit, the exclusion of the existence of New Vegas in the show's timeline is downright disrespectful, especially considering New Vegas is probably the best game in the entire franchise. For those not familiar with the controversy, Shady Sands was nuked in the show 5 years before the story of New Vegas takes place, which is essentially the hub of the New California Republic, meaning that the NCR and the whole plot of New Vegas are non-existent in the show's timeline. But this blip aside, you can tell the show's creators genuinely cared about staying true to its source material, as there are numerous small nods to the series that seem to have flown under the radar. For example, the sound effects. Can we please talk about the sound effects? Everything from the Pip-Boy sound effects to the use of stim packs and bolt sounds, it all sounds spot on, as if it's literally directly ripped from the game. They really have nailed the feel of the Fallout games in the franchise, and despite some claims of using last year's Urban Outfitters collection for some of the stars, I don't care. The aesthetic is perfect. I mean, if we're going down that rabbit hole, I can't officially confirm it, but I'm convinced that they've used the gun sounds from both Fallout 1 and 2, as they sound pretty much identical. Even the way stim packs are used in the show but not overly explained, it just all flows. There's not a huge filler portion explaining every single nod to the series. The showrunners just sprinkle these in often throughout the first season to allow true Fallout fans to find these hidden Easter eggs without the need for excessive exposition. These moments are there for the fans, not casuals who are tuning in just to see what all the hype is about. They don't make a big song and dance about it when they do it. It's simply there for fan service. One moment in particular that stands out is when Lucy asks an NPC for directions. She has her gun aimed the whole time, exactly how you would when you approach NPCs in the games. Even her rise as a low-level vault dweller honors the franchise, as she starts off completely clueless, armorless and naive, and as she begins progressing and looting her way through the world, she begins to level up alongside her experience. Probably my biggest piece of praise for the TV show was the way in which they managed to construct the story so that it felt like a game campaign, almost as if there were 3 different character builds simultaneously carrying out the same story campaign. You had the lucky, charismatic character that could talk their way out of anything, the dumb, high-power, high-armored bro that brute forces their way through life, and my personal favourite, the shoot-first, ask-never gunslinger. All of their stories naturally intertwine, as if they're all carrying out their own individual side quests, but conveniently aligned for the main story quests. Game adaptations can be extremely hit or miss, but I think the Fallout show has delivered hugely here. Yes, as mentioned in the beginning of the video, there may have been some oversights, but overall, this is a great introduction of the franchise to a much wider audience, which is only a good thing for the gaming world. What did you think of the show? Did it live up to your expectations? Let us know in the comments down below. And while you've been watching this video, YouTube's algorithm has hand selected the perfect video from our channel just for you, so why not go give it a watch?